Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick tutorial on filling out the self-critique form. And if you're taking a design class with me, then you might be interested in knowing how to use Adobe InDesign to do that really quickly. And so this is Adobe InDesign. This is typically what the interface looks like when you start up the application. And I want to create a new file by clicking on the blue button over here on the left-hand side. And then this dialog box is going to pop up. And I'm going to come over here and switch my increments to inches. Okay. And 11 by 8.5 is the typical, size of a letter document. But I want it to be in profile mode or portrait mode instead of landscape mode. So I make that switch. And there's only going to be one page. And so after I've done that, I can click create. And as soon as I've done that, there's this simple dialog box with one page, and I can come up here to File and Place. And then I'm going to navigate to the location where I have the self-critique form downloaded. And so you would do the same thing on your end. You would download that form into some reliable place on your computer. In my circumstance, it's here on my hard drive, and I have different iterations, but I'm going to choose the one that's from January of 2022. And I just open that document, and now I have this sort of thumbnail of the image, and all I have to do is just click with my mouse, and it will drop down. Because it's a PDF, it has this transparency associated with it, which is kind of nifty. And the next thing I would like to do is just kind of move this into place. And you can see that, with the PDF that I made, it has some padding. And so it crops this document pretty much to the edge of wherever the information is. So the next thing I want to do, I'm actually going to align it with some padding on this new document. So I'm going to grab these handles and kind of squeak things in a little bit, just because I like things to be neat and tidy in my design work. And I just hit Command 0 on my Mac so that I can kind of see everything all at once. Because, for example, let's say I'm zoomed out, I can hit Command 0 and it'll zoom back to the full screen mode. Or I can zoom in and I can hit Command 0 again, and so I can see everything all at once. Pretty handy. And so, but when I did grab those handles, it cropped some of the information. So now I'm going to drag with the black arrow tool, and I want to fit things within the window that I've created, okay? And I'm going to come up here, Object, Fit, and I'm going to say Fit Content to Frame. So now, if I zoom in, I can see that this information down here at the bottom is no longer cropped. Okay, so I'm going to hit Command 0 again so I can see everything. Now I'm going to come over here to Layers, and I'm going to lock that layer down, okay? And now, if I, just to illustrate something or show you, if I click the black arrow tool and I try to move anything, because that layer is locked, I'm getting this, basically this icon that says you can't move anything. Now, what I'd like to do is create a new layer. And actually, I'm going to label these layers just for fun. I get a little bit OCD about these operations, but I'm going to label this layer doc for document. I'm going to double click into this layer and call this text. So now I have this new layer on top of the doc layer, and I can come over here, grab the text tool, and then drag and type my name. First, last. Use the black arrow tool, click away, hit T for type, and then that tool will be selected again. And I can say, okay, this is for digital media. I don't know, donut project. So you have to describe course and the project. This is the rubric that I would advise that you take a look at when you're assessing yourself. Remind yourself also of the elements of art and the principles of design. All this information I've been tuning for years, and I think that it is important and worth taking a look at. Then there are these simple questions down here. Describe your initial understanding of the project. Describe how you utilized planning and sketching and project development. Describe the process and techniques you can observe visually, yada, yada, yada. And so by answering all of those with the text tool, I'm not going to go ahead and do that fully here. I'm just going to insert some lorem ipsum. But again, and the other thing I could do is I could hit Command C and then hit Command V, and then I can just kind of put these almost as placeholders down here so I can answer the questions really quickly and efficiently. Let's say that I do run out of space. I can grab this handle and expand this type box a little bit, or I can actually change the size of the text. So if I did that a little fast, so I'm going to back up and do it one more time. If I have the black arrow tool selected right now, I'm going to double click into the text box and select all the text. And then up here, I can change that text to 10 point instead of 12, which will give me just a little bit more room to maybe type some things. Okay. And that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to show you guys, how to use InDesign to fill out these forms. And if you're taking a graphic design or photography or any class with me where you're able to have access to Adobe software, I think this is really valuable stuff to kind of just, wrap your head around. InDesign is a very powerful and wonderful application. And if you're planning on being any type of designer, especially a graphic designer down the road, this application will be, playing a huge role in your life. The other thing that we need to do is we need to export the PDF. So it's kind of ironic. We placed a PDF and now we're going to export a new PDF outside of the application. And when you're ready, File, Export. I'm going to choose the location. I'm going to choose the desktop in this circumstance. I'm going to give it a name. And let's say, I don't know, Bollinger Critique Project 8. And I like these little sort of dashes in between all the words. It's good for, I don't know, it's just old habits die hard from my days doing web development. So anyway, Bollinger Critique Project 8 desktop. Now I'm going to hit save. I can adjust the compression over here. I would suggest that you set all of these to maybe, let's say 150. That's pretty safe. And then you hit export. Now the thing that we didn't do though, is we filled out these two areas at the top, your name, the course project title, and then we answered the questions, right, with some text using the text tool, but we did not actually circle, the grade that we think that we should get for this project. So you can come over here and maybe use the pencil tool. Make sure you're on the live layer. There you go. And notice how there's, if we just use the pencil tool, I mean, there's content there, but we can't see it because we have not given that stroke an attribute. So we have to come up here and tell that stroke to be black. Okay, then we can move it around. So yeah, that's an option for just doing a real quick circle, almost kind of like it's a pen. The other thing that we could do is we could maybe just for fun use the pen tool. Give the pen tool an attribute. It looks a little bit more boxy, but it'll certainly do the job. Okay, so that's a way that you can do that with the software. So now I'm going to use the pencil tool one more time to just sort of circle this 10A. And again, I'm doing that because I think I deserve an A. I've done a really good job on this project. So now I've got everything answered. Everything is clear. I'm going to come up here to File, going to do this one more time, export. I'm going to do it on the desktop, and I need to replace that image. There it is right there, Bollinger Critique Project. If I click on it again, it'll inherit that text. Then I'm going to hit save, and then I'm going to hit replace, okay? Then I'm actually going to click the button that says export. At this point, it should be exported, no problem, but I'm going to double check my work by going to the desktop. There it is. There's the text that we plugged into this PDF document. Thank you all.